And I am an environmentalist from Kenya. Yesterday, we were invited, many youths were invited by the UNDP for the Youth Connect Climate Summit. We even made a proposition statement for the youths towards climate action. Rwanda has become a green hub in Africa. How can this model be replicated in most of the African countries, making sure in the process we create jobs for youth? This is a question for you, the President of Rwanda. Now going back to our own Deputy President, Mr. Rigathi from Kenya. With the new presidency, what is your take on the representation of youths and children in such conferences, like this Youth Connect Climate Summit, and even the ones that are organized in Kenya? For the climate finance, there has not been more transparency on where these climate finance are being delivered. They're not being accessible to many people, most especially from the local grassroots. For me, I am taking the lead towards climate action by advocating for the restoration of Lake Victoria through doing cleanups, using water hyacinth to make products such as this, that creates a livelihood for women and youths in Kenya. Another question that I have, it's now for all the African leaders present at this room. You're going to be part of the climate negotiations, but it's time for us to style up and to advocate for loss and damage finance. For Africans, we have been on the front line of the climate crisis. When it comes to the media, the global media, Africans are not being taken seriously. Our things that are not being covered, like we had floods in Sudan, in Sierra Leone, it's not being covered. For the negotiations, we are not being taken seriously. It's time for us to make this change. And it starts by you, because our voices can only be heard by you and not by any other person. We depend on you. I'd like to take a climate clock to you, together with Ina Maria from Namibia. Yeah? Okay. Taking to the MC. Okay. Just wait.
What's happening? What is this, your countdown?
This is the climate clock.
The climate clock, all right, thank you. Okay, so the climate clock reads 6 years, 282 days, 3 hours, 10 minutes, and 49 seconds. Okay.
So this is for the loss and damage. We still have this year so that we can take part in the climate reparations and advocate for the climate solutions to be taken seriously. Thank you so much.
Woo! Young lady, you are phenomenal. You're 16, shouldn't you be writing your O-levels or something? I mean, you're amazing. And if I had not given her that opportunity, can you imagine the relationship between me and God right now? But thank you for that. I will hand over now to your excellencies.
I consider this more of a statement that was being made to us.
Absolutely.
Rather than a question.
Yeah.
So we will treat it like a statement. A statement emphasizing certain things that need to be done come with climate change conference coming, or issues to emphasize, and so on and so forth. I don't think really there is any question to answer other than reassuring her. Well, first of all, I'm glad she realizes that this is not just an easy process or an easy thing for which you find a solution in one day. However, we have listened to what she has said, and so many like her have said these things very loud and clear in different places, whether in New York at the UN General Assembly or different capitals of developed countries. And it's important that these statements, these voices continue to be heard. So it is on our duty, however, when it comes to us in these interactions, in these meetings, in these conferences, to be able to articulate our positions, taking into consideration those points she has raised, whether it is the climate financing or different activities that people think are unfair or result into the kind of injustice that has been so much pronounced. We can only say we have listened and we have heard these messages before. We understand their importance, and we shall also try to play our part among so many other actors that are out there.
Thank you, sir. I think that's enough for the acknowledgement and the recognition of that and the commitment that you've been heard, right? Thank you so much. I mean, you came with a whole presentation. Thank you. All right. I don't know if you want to add anything, Deputy President, but I think, as was said by His Excellency, it was more a statement than anything. So at this stage, I think we can close off our morning session. I'll hand back over to our MCs, Makeda and Dave, and Your Excellencies, our panel, if we could close off now. Thank you so much. So thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry, I think the president was just asking me something. What's that, sir? Oh, you want a selfie? Oh, okay, sure. No problem. No problem. Anytime, Paul, anytime.
Okay.
Oh, on his behalf too? Okay, he asked on his behalf too. You're there. There you are. All right, get in there. I'll sign it and send it to you on WhatsApp. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, you may take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause to our panel. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Rwanda, and also to our guests of honor for that enlightening conversation.
Merci beaucoup.
And of course, there is a lot more to come because, of course, this is only the very beginning. We will now be inviting our hosts and our guests of honor to take their official photo, and protocol will be guiding them out of the room. And to everyone else remaining, we do have a treat in store for you, but first, Mr. President, before you came into the room, we had been so impressed, as Rwanda said, by so many of the dance moves and the energy and all of the excitement that all of our delegates came with. And so I'd like to ask everyone here, as they're being led out of the room by protocol, to go ahead and give our guests of honor a very exciting exit. The DJ is going to allow us to make sure that the environment is right. And protocol, if you will.
Absolument, oui. Un peu de musique pour accompagner nos invités d'honneur qui vont aller prendre une photo officielle. Mais nous allons les accompagner avec la joie, la bonne humeur et de la bonne musique que le DJ va nous mettre. Et bien sûr, on va les accompagner comme nous l'avons fait en les attendant, avec de bons mouvements de danse et de la joie et tout ça.
For sure. DJ, let's go.